In this tutorial in PhotoDirector 365, we'd like to give you an introduction to working with the adjustment layers. Adjustment layers work in the design mode and they allow you to edit part of the features or characteristics of an individual image or even multiple images when they're layered together in the design mode. So let's see what we can do with some of these. I'm going to click on the design button at the very top to get into that particular part of the tool. It wants to know if I want to add a white layer beneath my image. I will say no. But one thing I will do is I will duplicate the image. So I'm going to right click on it and click on the duplicate. Then I'm going to turn off the bottommost layer. First thing I want to do is I want to, on the top active layer, add a mask. To do that, I click on the square with a circle inside it, click on Add Mask, and now I have this white. I want to change the color of her sweater, so I need to shape my mask. With the mask selected, I'm going to go into the Selection tool on the left side, and we'll use our magic wand to select pixels of the same color, and we'll see if we can get everything here very quickly. Okay, that's a good start anyway, so I'm going to click on that, and then I will click on the left and right arrows to invert the selection, and then we'll do the cut. So here is my mask. I'll press on Escape to save it. If I need to edit it, I can. For example, if I wanted to take something else, I could take my zoom tool by clicking on the magnifier in the upper right, zoom in a little tighter somewhere. And here, if I wanted to change this, I could. I could click on the pencil tool and change the size of my brush, the opacity, and I could slowly remove some if I want. Remember, it's colored as black. Black conceals and white reveals. So if I wanted to change this a little bit, I certainly could. If I make a mistake like this, I click on the color black. I change the color to white, click on OK, and now I'm adding back what I want here. Again, if I switch back and forth as often as I want, click on OK, and we can modify according to our taste. We'll assume that this is good enough for now. I'll go back to my fit size, and this is my mask. You notice it's white. The white part is revealed, the black is concealed. And so I have a mask. Now, I don't want to mask the entire video. I just want to mask my adjustment layer. To do that, I need to create an adjustment layer. So we're going to click on the circle that's half blue, half empty. That will create an adjustment layer. Let's try a curve adjustment layer. And there's a layer. I'll make it small for now. What I want to do is take the mask, and I want to take the mask and copy it. So I'll simply drag it up to the curve layer, and I'll say duplicate mask. It says replace layer. There was none there before, so I'll say yes. Okay, and now I'm going to take the mask on the original layer, right click on it and disable it. So now you don't see it. So I'm going to apply a curve adjustment, but I only want to apply the curve adjustment to the mask, and it's set to the mask right now. I'll take the green, and we'll change the green here, and we'll give her a slightly different color there for her top. Now I notice it's not exactly what I want it to be, so all I need to do is go back to the mask, and with the mask selected, I'm going to click on my zoom tool, zoom over here where I want it to change, and then I'll click on my pencil tool. I want to click on white because I want to add rather than subtract. I'll change the size of that and we'll adjust it accordingly. And so we can make as any kind of modification we want there. So we'll take and put it back to fit. And now we notice we've changed that. So any place where we don't like it, we can always adjust the mask. I have some green on her shoulder. I would probably mask that out as well if I were being very careful. Now the nice thing about adjustment masks is you can add more than one on any particular mask. Let me show you how we're going to do that. Let's take another adjustment layer. Let's say brightness. Now if I take the brightness control and I use it by default, see, it's going to change the whole image. I don't want to do that. I just maybe want to change the brightness on this mask. I can do that, again, by simply copying the mask to the adjustment layer. Duplicate. Yes. And now the brightness will only control the sweater. So I can use one or both or neither. I can turn them on and off as I wish. There's the original. And there's one's changed. Another possibility is I want to mask a different part of the image. So I'm going to go back to my copy of that image. We'll turn it on. And I'm going to make an adjustment layer here. But I have to start with a mask. So I'll click on the mask with this selected. I want to mask her face. So we're going to go back to our selection tool. And we'll click this area here. That's pretty good. I want to get her nose. Now normally you don't mask lips and eyes and eyelashes, but let's say that one works. I'm going to invert it again. And cut. Okay, that's my mask. Now I don't want to apply the mask here, but I do want to copy it to another layer. I'll press escape. We'll add another layer. Let's call this one a filter layer. And it wants me to pick one. I'll pick one for now just to click OK. So now I have a filter layer. But right now the filter is applied to everything. I'm going to take that filter layer and move it up. And now we're going to filter just her face. So I take the mask and I copy it to the filter layer, my adjustment layer called filter. I say yes. I'm going to turn this whole layer off. I don't need it anymore. And now if I filter with the LUT, well, let's change it. Let's say we want to go to something that is, say, spring styles. Let's take this and click on it. Click on OK. What's it changing? It should be changing only the mask. Let me turn it off. You see, only her face changes, not her face. So I'm applying two different masks to the same image, one to color her sweater, one to change the color of her face. And I can turn them on and off, or I can change the characteristics of either one of the adjustment filters. Let's try a different one. Let's try soft pink. That looks interesting. Okay. Now in the preview it shows everything. When I turn it off, now it's just soft pink on her. So I can change it. I can also modify the opacity of the mask, which in some ways will change the features. Now there's something else I can do. If I have multiple images on the screen, not simply this image of these two gals at the table, I can also use adjustments on all of those. Let me show you one simple example. Let's add a layer. I'll go ahead, click here. We'll add a photo layer, and I'll resume the video when that's done. Okay, I've added this photo of the cell phone, and we'll put it over here and make it smaller. But if I want to add something that's simply tied to that, all I need to do is add an adjustment layer. I'm not going to mask it in this case. I could if I wanted to. Let's take exposure. Now if I change exposure now, it's going to change everything. So if I go this way or this way, I've changed everything. If I right click on there and say apply clip mask, it's going to apply only to the image below. See the down arrow? That shows it's this one. So now it only affects the phone. If you look at the phone, those are the very opposites, very dark, very light. So if I wanted to look like a black iPhone, I just lower my exposure. I have it there. And I can use as many masks as I want to. So the clipping arrow applies to this image. These apply to this image. So that's how you can do multiple ones. There's many things you can do with adjustment masks. They give you great flexibility in terms of your final image, but we hope this has been helpful as you were learning how to use them in PhotoDirector 365.